When I was 8 years old, I almost murdered someone. This is the story. So in 2003, I was playing this game that is called cricket, right? And me and my friend, we had an altercation. He was 12 years old at the time. I was 8 years old at the time. He got angry and he shoved me. And, I got up and went home. My home was close by. And when I went home, I was crying. And I said to my stepfather at the time, I told my stepfather at the time what had happened. And this is very important. This is a very important part of the story that you guys need to know. And this is why it is important to have positive male role models around you. Because my stepfather did not say to me, stay inside the house or don't go back outside as yet and calm down and whatnot. He said to me that, I needed to defend myself. In Jamaican vernacular, he said, go and go defend yourself. I want you to go and go defend yourself. All right, cool. So, me, being 8 years old, I wanted to go and defend myself, right? While heading back outside the house to go and defend myself, to fight back this person, I saw a small knife about this size, and I took it up and ran towards the person, and I stabbed him in the chest. He almost died, right? And after that, I went to court. I didn't even know, at that time I did not know that 8-year-olds would go to court. I went to juvenile court with my friend, and I ended up staying at this boys' home, right? They call it boys' home in Stony Hill, Kingston, Jamaica. Now, at that boys' home, you have to be 12 years old and over to stay there. But I was 8. The system is so messed up because I was 8 and they sent me to that place where I should not have been because it was supposed to be for 12 years old and over, right? After a week, they found out that, hey, he's 8 years old. He should not be at this location. However, my mom opted for me to stay because she saw that I was getting used to the location. I was getting acclimatized, so she did not want me to move. So I stayed there. So I was the only 8 years old at that facility, right? Now, while I was at that facility, they would let us do chores around the building, clean outside, do some form of farming like planting crops, and they would teach us some basic things that we should do, clean the floors, stuff like that. And the showers were like prison showers because it was open showers, so you're seeing everyone and everyone is seeing you, right? So it was very uncomfortable, and we would stay on dorms. It was a very interesting experience. I wouldn't say it was super difficult, but it was difficult because it's totally different from what I'm used to being at my home. So it was difficult, and you had to be on guard at all times because the boys in that place, they like to fight, they like to steal your stuff, etc. So it was sort of difficult, and was definitely a learning moment. And one of the things I noticed while being there was that the majority of these guys that were over 12 years old, they did not know how to spell or to add or to multiply, like basic stuff like 5 plus 5. They did not know. They did not know how to spell cat. They did not know how to spell cow. Simple things like those they did not know. And I was 8 years old, and I was there helping some of those young men to read and to add and multiply. So it was a very interesting experience. I ended up entering a spelling bee competition, and because of my behavior, I only had spent 3 months there. So they let me out for good behavior, and they placed me on probation for 3 years. So the probation was to stay away from my neighborhood for 3 years. So they wanted me to stay at my aunt's house for 3 years. So yeah, that's basically the story, right? And I want to say to you that, you know, even though I went through that at 8 years old, it taught me a lot. It brought me closer to God. Yes, that's when I really started going to church. Actually, when I was 8, I really started, going to church after the situation, and to see how far I've came, and so many other stuff that I've been through, and I'm here now, able to finish university, etc. So I'm just saying to you, if you're feeling discouraged, if you're feeling like you've been through a lot, don't give up. Keep fighting, keep pushing forward, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of young men, a lot of young boys did not grow up around a lot of positive male role models, and it can be difficult, but just keep pushing, and stay focused, and surround yourself, if you can, surround yourself with positive male role models as much as possible. As a young man, as a young boy, surround yourself with those positive male role models as much as possible, because on that day, if my stepfather at the time was a positive male role model, he would not have suggested such a thing for me to go and defend myself as an 8-year-old. You know what I mean? So just keep focused, and keep pushing forward. And it doesn't matter what you've been through, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. There is always something positive to get out of it. Thank you.